to mark the new faith had come and the abrogation of the Islamic law, she removed her veil in front of everyone. And because of this, of course, she was accused of immorality. But the Bab supported her, and he named her Tahireh. You know, the Bab was martyred, but 2 years later, Tahireh was sentenced to death. But one of the last things she said was, "You can kill me as soon as you like, but you cannot stop the emancipation of women. You can kill me as soon as you like, but you cannot stop the emancipation of women." Abdu'l-Baha was the eldest son of Baha'u'llah, and he was appointed the center of his covenant after Baha'u'llah's passing. He was the perfect example of the Baha'i life. He was like a perfect mirror of his father's teachings, and he was the interpreter of his father's words. At a very young age, he was banished from Iran with his family, and he shared in the sufferings of Baha'u'llah, and he was imprisoned until the age of 64. But throughout that time, he was joyful because he was serving humanity. After Baha'u'llah passed away, Abdu'l-Baha continued to spread his teachings of peace and of unity, travel to the West, where he shared the message in Europe and in Egypt and in North America. Maybe I can share with you one of the things he said. He said, "Be in perfect unity with one another. Never become angry with one another. And we should love the creatures for the sake of God and not for themselves, because humanity is not perfect, and each human being has imperfections. But we will become unhappy if we look at the people. But if we look at God and we love them for God, then we will love them and we will be kind with them for His sake. Because the world of God is the world of perfection and mercy."
بابا چایی آورده. نسوزید
چه داغ نسوختی؟ ببینم دست تو.
نه توی نسوخت.
داغ این خیلی.
برای خودش.
چیزای خوب گرفتی؟
آره یه چیزایی گرفتم. یه دختره بود چیز یاد میداد. از اون گرفتم خورده. جالب شد.
منم داشتم به این باغبونه گوش میکردم و ازش فیلم میگرفتم. خیلی چیزای جالبی میگه. ببین مثلا حدود 170 سال پیش این بهاییت تو ایران به وجود اومده به عنوان یه دین تازه، یه دین که در ایران متولد شده. بعد بهاییت 170 سال پیش همه اون چیزای خوبی که تو بودیسم هست، تو مسیحیت هست، تو حرفای گاندی هست، تو حرفای ماندلا هست، همه رو داره. مثلا 170 سال پیش به وجود اومده ولی با هیچ یک از قوانین حقوق بشر در تضاد نیست. وقت با اینکه چند صد هزار تا بهایی تو ایران وجود داره، خود من تو همین چند ماه پیش اصلا نمیدونستم بهاییت چی میگه. فکرشو بکن که ما یه دین صلح طلب‌تر داشتیم، شاید برامون انقدر دنبال اتمی نمیرفت، دنبال جنگ نبود. شاید ماها صلح طلبتر بودیم، شاید اخلاق گراتر بودیم.
یه همین بهایی‌ها به قدرت رسیده بودن، شاید اینا هم تفتیش عقاید را انداخته بودن. مگه خمینی نبود؟ تا وقتی تو پاریس بود شعار آزادی و دموکراسی میداد، اومد تو ایران همه ایران رو کرد زندان. مثلا مگه خود مسیحی نبود؟ از مهربانی حرف میزد. ولی تو قرون وسطا کلیساها چیکار کردن با مردم؟ همینجور تفتیش عقاید را انداختن. بعدش هم آزادی، صلح، مهربانی، اینا چه ربطی به مذهب داره؟ اینا همش به سواد و فرهنگ مربوط.
چی شد؟ جنگ شد؟
ممکنه پایه‌هاشو قبلا گذاشتن برای اینکه جنگ کنن دیگه. اینا همش چیزای مذهبه.
بابا تو از بس تأثیرات بد مذهب رو دیدی، کم کم قدرت مذهبم ندیده گرفتی. نتیجهش اینه که فکر میکنی اگه آتیش یه نفر رو سوزون اصلا در چای نفت رو باید بست. بعدم همجور که تو برنامه ها تو نو به نو میکنی، تا یه دوربین جدید میاد فکر میکنی باید آپدیت بشی، خب مذهبم باید آپدیت میشده دیگه. تو داری تمام قدرت مذهب رو ندیده میگیری در حالی که خودت داری اثباتش میکنی. مذهب این قدرت رو داشته که دنیا رو به ویرانی بکشه، خب چرا به صلح نکشونه؟ ببین یه کاری کردی گله رو له کردن، الان باید از این گل معذرت خواست.
مگه حالا اینایی که توی دنیا دین ندارن مشکلی دارن؟ کجا دیدیم تا الان این دین؟ اونایی که دین ندارن بیشتر با هم دعوا میکنن یا اونایی که دین دارن؟ هر جای دنیا می‌بینیم یا یه ورش مسلمانان یا یه ورش مسیحیان و یه ورش جویشان در حال جنگن، یا همین وقتی جنگ هم نمی‌کنن استرس اینه که نکنه این دو سه گروه با هم دیگه حالا گیر بدن. نه این دو سه گروه، همه مذاهب با هم دیگه به جنگن. یاد من که فکر نمی‌کنم نیاز داشته باشه آدم به مذهب توی دنیای مدرن حداقل نه.
From a young age, I couldn't understand why God would be competing with himself. It didn't make sense. And I searched and I searched, and at a certain point, I said, I'm not going to go to church anymore. And my mom said, that's okay, but you have to go somewhere on Sunday. So I said, okay. So I went, and my dad took me, and we went to different churches. 2 years over here, a few years over there. And there was beautiful people everywhere. Over here, a few years over there. And there was beautiful people everywhere, but eventually I kind of gave up. And then in university, a good friend of mine, she was also very much, touched by the love of God, but she was from a Muslim family. And so the two of us would talk, and all we could see was that this is one thing, and we couldn't understand how it could be two different things. And so we kind of decided between us that if you figure it out, you tell me, and if I figure this out, I'll tell you. And she found the faith and became a Baha'i. And then she told me about it, and I was little, I wasn't sure. She gave me a prayer book, and I took it home, and I sat down, and I opened it, and immediately when I read it, it was the words of God. And I was scared. I didn't know what that meant for my rest of my life. So then after that, I studied the Baha'i faith, and I learned more, and then I told my parents, and they were really happy for me. In fact, they gave me a flower, and they said, I hope that your faith grows like this flower.
I think one way to express it for me is to describe my name. So my name, Shireya, comes from a proverb in my dad's language, in Ocheherero. And it talks about the dawn of a new day and the promise of a new day. And I was named with that intention, like with the hope that a new day would dawn, that a new day actually had begun, that the dawn had arrived of a new day. And the Baha'i faith is that promise. It's the day when the color of our skin will no longer determine your value, or your gender will be considered a gift to humanity, and where peace and safety or prosperity are possible, and they're not defined in terms that provide some with and others don't have. I think my parents named me, well, from what I understand. My mother's from the United States. She's an African American, and on her side, we are the descendants of slaves. And my father's from Namibia. And on his side, we are the descendants of people that were colonized and oppressed. But I think, and both of my parents, they met because both of them were struggling for social justice and were searching for something that would speak to the nobility and the dignity of each individual soul, and that would empower the masses to be able to advance. And for my mom, she found it as a teenager, and it was this faith. And for my dad, when he met her, he was introduced to it as well. And I think it's the Baha'i faith for me is hope actualized. Like it's not just a pious hope, and it's not just a belief in my heart, but it shows up in the world. This is the day of the unification of humankind, and I think the Baha'i faith is the way that'll happen.
خوابیم؟ من متقاعد شدم که منبع اصلی نفرت در جهان دین‌های سازمان یافته است. القاعده چی کار کرد؟ دین رو کرد موتور تروریسم. طالبان چی کار کرد؟ بچه‌ها رو برد توی مدارس دینی تربیت کرد تا به خودشون بمب ببندن و عملیات انتحاری انجام بدن.
بابا به من چیزی گفتی؟
نه، با خودم.
اگه دین میتونه بچه‌های معصوم رو طوری تربیت کنه که برای مردن و کشتن آماده بشن، پس یعنی دین یه قدرتی داره. چرا قدرت دین رو برای صلح و دوستی به کار نمیبرن؟ برای مبارزه با خشونت از هوا بمب ریختن بیفایده است.
بابا خوابیم؟ بابا خوابیم؟ چیکار میکنیم؟